Okay, today we will be talking about data types. The first moment we will talk about why are important, why do we need to know the data type. Then after that part, I will go data type by data type and I will explain you why, when to use it, and some advantage of the data specific data type. After we check this type of data types, we will go with arrays and we will just check the method that we have it. Uh, and after finishing the method that we have it, that I will try to go one by one, explaining the advantage and when to use it, maybe a description and an example. I will go with some exercise that I prepared. There are 6 exercises, and the idea is that every exercise take you around 3 to 5 minutes to go, but I would like you to explain me those exercises, right? Like I will give you the exercise and then you will use it. Just to be clear, the exercise that I am bringing it are some exercise. The first exercise are easy. The second one is the idea, like a more real world case, a scenario, like what is something that I consider that is something that it will appear or may appear into that one, right? I am assuming a couple of things, that you know how to write a function, and that you know that even though I am not teaching you today objects, that you know that an object is a key value and they exist one into another one. And when we finish all those parts that I am telling you, we will call it a day. There will be not anything extra. I will not be like adding anything over that one. That is everything. Okay? Nothing scary, nothing crazy. You can take a tea and don't don't scare it, right? That's it. We will not see anything extra about those stuff. Any questions so far?
No yet.
Okay, cool. Then let's start in this case about why the data types. Well, why is important to know your data types? Okay, first to know first of everything. One second. First and all, it's good to know the data type for the usage of memory. JavaScript allocate memory depending of the data type. For example, it's not the same that if you make an string that you make in this case, an object. The second one is avoiding bugs. Okay, and I will tell you something. You need to know your data types in order to use TypeScript. And if you already start looking or seeing the different places where you can get a job, I assume that you notice that TypeScript is important. But TypeScript is not that problematic, but you need to know your data types. Okay, why is so important to know to your data type? Because 54 plus 54, 55 in this case, and let's say, let's just add here console log 54 plus 54 in console log, and in this case 54 plus 54, they are different, right? What is the answer that give you here, and what is the answer that give you here?
The first one will be just 5,555, just normal. The second will be 110.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
Exactly. We have, because when they are string, they make concatenation, And when you make, in this case, in this case, objects, or in this case, numbers, is a concatenation. It is a simple semantic operation. Now, I will have a question. Let me know. Let me remove that. Okay, replets that we have here, and I will just move it. Okay. Okay, let me just try to get it here. One question: how you create an input when you are working in let me just everything that you have here. I will just remove this information because I am not interested in this stuff that I have here. I don't care, and I don't care about this one. One question: what do you do when you have this and you want to make an input? How you create an input in this case? That is a number that you want to save it here. My, it can be
Type
React, it can
number.
be, sorry?
Input type number.
Input type number. And here we will add it an ID. I think that we can add it an ID, right? And this will be size. And this one will number one. Number one. And we close it. And here will be a second one. Input type number. And let's add it another ID. Number two. Okay. And we save it. And we see it here, right? Uh-huh. I save it, I think. I'm sure that I save it. Okay. I am doing something bad here. Oh no, there you have. And they are number, right? One number and another number. I have a question. How can I get those numbers here in JavaScript? I want to get the information that exists from those numbers.
Get
Here.
element by image.value.
Okay, const number one equals to a document.
Document.
Document dot
Get element.
get element by ID, and we add the ID, right? And that in this case will be one, and this one const number two equal document dot get element by ID, and the other one is number two, if I'm not mistaken.
Dot value.
Two.
Dot value.
Dot value, okay. Dot value. I don't know if we can get it like that.
Yes, you can.
Oh, yes, you can. Okay. Console.log, and we say number one plus number two. What give you that? Let's save
7.
it here. Let me refresh it. And we put 4, and in this case, 3. It's not doing anything, right? How can I do it for this thing to do something? And why is not doing anything?
And maybe you can like create another variable and make like equal number one plus number. I don't know, it's the same, but you have to put like have the button maybe to click like to give
Okay,
you the
okay, let's make the number. Let's say it here. and we say button ID
Result.
equal result, okay, and we say result, okay. We save it everything. We run it here.
You need to also,
Type event listener for it to get the value.
Ah, no, that is no, I don't care here. And we get the button. Console. No, this, let's get it the button. Cons button equal document dot get element by ID. And we have the button, right? Result. We have it over there. Not inconvenient. I will not ask you to mention. What do you say?
but
Button dot
Get the event listener.
element listener.
click.
Click and the function, right? And there we don't have too many things that are, and I just say it's console, so log, and we say
Oh.
number 1 plus number 2. We saw the scene, we refresh this guy, we just have here 4 and 3, and we press, in this case, result.
Why is your console showing your HTML?
Good question. Well, this one is all the information that I have here. I have 2 buttons and everything.
Because no, you need to put the value in the HTML, right? Because how you can see where's the answer? We can
No,
see.
in the console, we put console.log. It's supposed to be
Okay.
seen in your console. But
Okay.
in his console is showing our elements, not console. Why is not showing your console?
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
I was clicking. Here you have the button. Here you are getting the element. And the button has the ideal result. We run it. We refresh it. We have here the script. We press it here. I
Now,
was clicking.
now you open your console. It was showing your element in the beginning before.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
we have it here. And I will just return what I was here. And we save it in order to go ahead and run it. We refresh it. We for 4 and 3. And we go to the result, and I don't have a cramp over there. No, we're there. We have it. There we have it. Then everything is just working normal. Why? Because the element that we have here is the type number. But what will happen if I don't get the value?
We just
What we will have here?
You need to.
7. You will have 7.
Oh, I will get 7. Okay. Let me just go. I will run it. I will
but you don't
refresh
have
it.
a value of input then.
3 and 4 is the same, right?
It's not, it's just open.
It's just a value that you have here. It's just an element, right? Because you are getting the type that we have it. And something important is type of. And you can see the type of the element that you have. You run it. And we have it here. And let's say it 4 and 7. I just want to see the element. Then in this case, what you have it is an object. And if you see it, you run it,
But if you put the value, then it's gonna be the number if you put the type of, right?
If you put the value and then you say type of, and we say 4 and 7. In this case, maybe say we will have a number. Okay, I think I didn't save it correctly. 4 and 7. And we go all the same, and we have a string.
String. Why is string?
And then if I go here and I add 55 and 55 and I put the number 2 and I refresh it and I make 55 and 55 and a string. Okay, if I make console.log,
That weird.
Yeah, because
number
number
one.
one. Yeah, because number one is the string. It's correct.
They both, we put the in the input is number, type number. Why is giving that?
Number one dot value, number one dot value.
If a string is supposed to be like 5,555, but there is
Dot value.
but since we have a number, it's supposed to be 110.
And we just put it here, and then I say 55 and 55, and I go with result. I have this one.
Mm.
It's happening here.
The string. Wow.
And why these things happen?
Because
I know that.
because yes, like when we start number one, like value. Yes, it is tricky. Yeah, if you like
Mhm.
see that, yes, it should be number, but since it is like document get element by ID, and it showed like an object, and the number one is kind of like the number one is the string, and it is
Yeah, but when you put there, it's a number, by the way.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it should be, it must be the number, but
No, right now it's gonna be number. When he put after the get element by
the
ID,
value.
yeah, it's gonna be number now.
It's gonna
55, 55.
Mm.
Let me run. Okay, let me run this thing because it's very slow. But then it's
same, I
55,
guess, right?
55, and result have a
String.
string.
It's because value always returns string. Even like if you set type number via input field.
Yeah, because it returned also first object.
But
So if you
if
want to use the numeric operations, you need to parse int or parse float or this number constructor. But since you are using the value, it always will be string.
Okay,
but
now
we always
now
using the value, like why is supposed to be always to return the string if we always for example in a DOM we like value that
3,
plus value is always give us
3
number.
is 7, then a string. Number 1, we have it here, and number 1. Then a string and a string.
And where is the answer for the third one?
I think here, let me just refresh it.
Remember first time we start doing it, just give us number.
5 and 2. Mhm. Okay, hey, don't kill me in this moment. This guy is the one that is. I save it many times. I run it, I refresh it, and I say 5 and 2.
Click one more time.
One more time.
One more time, yes.
Refresh?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Yeah, my computer works, right?
Except remember when we're using React, for example, or DOM, we always take the value from the input. For example, we like just even if we like multiply it or whatever we're doing, it give us answer of 2 numbers, not like a 2 string.
No, it give us the number strings. If we
What do
use,
you mean?
The number.
I don't remember that. Well, I remember when we used the one time that numbers, we transferred that to the using the 2 number or the parse float or something like this.
For example,
React-
when you're doing the calculator, for example, when you do the calculator or like project, I don't know,
The tip calculator, you mean?
like I don't know, whatever you just like, I don't know. I've been trying to do the project with the calculator. You just, I didn't convert it to the number. Oh, let's ask Mario. Why like why you give us string?
Amara has like
It's
zone.
always, it will always give you the string because JavaScript by default, everything that you see here, I mean, is basically an string.
So
It
we
just
have
have
to
a
convert
JavaScript.
it to the number, like.
Yes, exactly. We always have to convert it. Well, depending, maybe React now is so smart that is not doing it, but like
You know
React.
that your React project with the numbers?
Yeah, right now, let's go here. Maybe this sandbox will have something here that we can use.
So we only once worked with that with the numbers. It was
Mhm.
tip calculator, I guess.
Okay, let's go. As I am saying, I am absolutely don't care how much time we take or how
Or
much we do.
yes,
I
tip
just
calculator, I remember, yeah. It was
okay.
input there.
Okay. Let me end this moment. I have plenty stuff. Happy. Well, let me see. 1 year ago stuff here. Hello, whatever, right? We have a component and this have it. Okay. Let's not think too much. First one, we have to have a controlled component, right? Let's just create an input and the type will be number, that will be number because it doesn't really matter in this case and doesn't matter, right? How we create a control component, a controlled component. A controlled component means right now that is not the DOM controlling it, but React.
You need to set use state.
Yes, exactly. We need to use state, and then in this case, we import something from React, right? From, in this case, React, and in this case, that thing is called use state. Use state, in this case, give it an array or 2 elements, and we just say use state. We can have an initial value. What is the initial value? In this case, 0. And here we have 2 elements. Why? This is just the structuring. Use state, return me a variable that in this case is that stable is state variable, state variable, and return me here one set state variable or one variable or one function that allow me to update my state. That is everything that we have it, nothing extra, and then we call it here, right? Then we say how we connect now this input to this variable. I'm sorry that I am asking you, but you are the expert in React, not me. Right now, right? I just want to go over there. How we do that?
Like you put on change on the input?
On change, okay. On change.
You're gonna write
Uh,
something inside the input, right?
yeah, on change equals something.
Well, do it. You can
Then
just like set state variable, and you can call
okay. I just call set state variable.
no, I mean you
Okay.
can do like and then but then you have to create the other function. Then can you just give like a call, write the callback function and just give the air target value inside right away?
Okay. We'll say set cons, set and set the value. Set the value. It will equal and what I get here.
And then you have to use the set variable inside and change the set value whose values on change air target value.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay, you want me this one called target, right?
No,
No,
A is this
no.
correct, but yeah, there. Air target.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then you should call the set value who's inside the values inside the on change.
Okay. And now what else I need to do?
Value
And then you should
Value.
plus to state variable.
Value, it will be equals to,
state
State.
variable.
and this
State
set is the variable. Let's copy it. Okay. Then we have it here. We save it to go it. All cool, right? But because we are curious, and this is something interesting that we say, we can just say console.log
Type of.
in this case a.target.value. I think what do we want to see, right? And we will just say type of.
It will be object, probably.
No, because you are saying target value. They will give you the value.
String. Wow, string.
Okay,
no,
we just
no, event is object actually. Event is object, but since it's a target value, okay, it can be string,
okay.
but
Let's start with target
no, but
State
event is
target
in
value.
order to the here. Okay, on chain they will go. It's an object. Okay,
object, yeah.
yeah. Then we go to target. We refresh this guy here, and it's an object. And then we go to value.
String.
And this one is the one that the reaction, the surprise that we have. It's a string.
Wow.
Okay, and we have here number, but you are having here a string.
Useref. When we using the useref, it's still gonna be value, or it will change to the number.
No, it will be always a string. It will always be a string, yeah. And I will just tell you something. Everything that you are using here in the into the
Use my
into the
one.
browser, it will be a string always. Doesn't really matter wherever you put it over there. It can be just looking like a boolean and everything. And even if David wants to kill me, that is how it's happening.
But does it mean that input type number make no sense? Like it just make no sense.
It makes sense because you are giving more. There is called something that is called aria in HTML. It makes sense. It's called the accessibility in order to describe what it's doing over there. But semantically, for you, it's it
I
means
have a
nothing. Yes.
What if we use the multiplier or like dividings?
There's something that I will tell you, JavaScript will always try and this. Let's make a second number, right? Let's make a second number here.
I will share my screen. I have a
Uh-huh.
with the numbers, but it's working fine. I used that value.
JavaScript in this case, always will try to make it a reality. But what I mean in this, like what you have over there, is an string.
Look at this here. That was tip calculator. I'm using here. Let's say 100. I wanna make like $10 tip. The one people. Tip amount $10. Per person is also $10. That's what I have it. I have it here. I'm using
Yeah,
this.
you.
I have a value as well. The number of people is all numbers.
Why you are using a ref over there? It's just
Yeah,
interesting.
it's a ref.
Yeah, it's over. Why are you using a ref?
It's just for my practice. I just want to practice.
Yeah, no, I am asking you why you are using a ref. What is the difference between using a state and a ref? The difference between one and another.
This one is not rendering. The state is rendering always when it's changing.
And what else is doing?
Useref is not like when you are typing the targeted value. For example, he's waiting for the time that all the text will be edited. Like, for example, if you use state and you type like A, B, C, D, is like automatically rendering for each letter. But useref is will wait until it's gonna be used.
Okay.
I used useState for this one. Is working as well like this, like only using that value, same thing.
Yeah, I'm multiplying, dividing.
Yeah, would you mind in this case to go and see what do you have over there? In this case, in the number that you need to know, and that 100 that you have here, would you mind to give bill ref current value here in the tip calculator that you have over there?
So you want
would you
to
mind?
the type of you mean?
Yeah, the type.
Okay. Let's check at the bill. We can check number of people too. This one is
Yeah, with those are more than enough.
okay. String and string, but it's working the calculation.
Would you mind in this case to assume both of them? Just to see it, like, okay, 100 people plus this one.
I don't know. What did you say?
Just can add, for example, in people, can you add, let's say, 100?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's increase some bill. 30%. Boom.
But would you mind just to make, in this case, I think the multiplication is the one that is here because the total amount and the type of person is giving you that one. Interesting. Would you
Like
mind to, would you mind to just to do this one? Bill plus number of people. Just in the operation when you have tip per person.
bill plus number of people.
I think it's correct, that one.
In the 18.
That's
Doesn't
the
make it.
bill plus number of people.
And just to make here console log in this case. Okay.
103 people. 300. Now it's adding.
Yeah, maybe concatenation is the one. The other one is forcing the conversion, but when you have a sum, is making the concatenation, taking by default that one.
For multiplying, dividing, it's working.
Yeah, it's working because it's forcing it. It's okay. You have numbers. Then in this case, JavaScript thinks like, okay, wherever I have numbers. No, like I want to multiply. I cannot multiply letters. And okay, they have to be number and make in this case one transformation. What is the inconvenient? That is just working because we are using JavaScript. If JavaScript were not working in this way, we will have another inconvenience.
Minus
But
is
in
also
general, huh?
minus is also working.
Hmm.
I did build by
Mm.
number of people. It gave me
Yeah.
the correct answer 97.
Hasan, can you please write in and just, I think the tip amount per person is not correct. Can you write just $100 and choose an option? Like how many people sharing the bill, for example, like 3 people?
So I need to fix what
Okay, it's not
How you
the point here is that even though JavaScript is forcing doing it,
3 people and what?
Yeah, like
How-
let's say, yeah, $100. And
How-
yeah, it will be, let's say, 30%.
Mhm.
So tip amount is total
30.
is 30, but 3 people, so it's like $10. Ah, okay.
it is a total, it will 110. He is making it like a, you divide 3,
You want like this?
okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I've been trying to say. Like, I never convert to like value to the number when I even adding or multiplying by using like when I create the project something or calculator. Why is doing it, Mario?
Because by JavaScript tend to force the arithmetic operation. But basically, is you're thinking like this, okay, it's not logical that I am trying to multiply to a string. It's not possible. Then JavaScript say, okay, then I think those things are numbers and create a force parse. But in what I want you to understand is this way. If you try to do the same, but you were not using JavaScript and you were using TypeScript, TypeScript will be screaming to you and telling you this is not possible. Why? Because the data types are different. That is the main reason. Or if you were using any other language that is typed, that means like where the types are important, that was you will having that kind of inconvenience. Okay?
So in
And
TypeScript, we have to convert it to the number every time, like
why?
value.
If you are using in this case value, because you are saying I need numbers. Yes, and you are saying you need number and you are passing in on a string. Okay, TypeScript doesn't know which operation you will do. You will make assume. Okay, you will do it. And let me just go here. Okay, that is the idea. When if you mind not to stop it because I think like we are going uh, a little bit outside for what I was just trying to okay to go over it. The important that I want you to understand it, the data types that we have in over here. Why that is important? Because when you have the data types here, then in this case, this value that you have it can apply different properties. Just as just for saying it. Okay. Be considerate or be aware that any type of element is JavaScript or is not JavaScript or whatever, you always will have here an string. Doesn't matter if you call this one in this case Boolean, for example, Boolean or whatever, you will always have here one string. And it's good if you are aware what do you have. Why? You will be working with TypeScript and that will give you an inconvenience. Another reason why it's good to know what the data types. Okay, right now I am telling this thing that is a number, right? But sometimes we are lazy and we pass here something like this. And for JavaScript, it doesn't really matter what you are passing here. I mean, you are passing me a string, saying it as a string. I mean, there is not error. You cannot calculate is an error or is not. That is why the data types are important in this case to prevent error. Another thing that is important, why the data types are important, is to have a cleaner code. I mean, you right now will have like 100 lines, right? It's a small code. But when you are starting moving between different pages or different things, it's very useful to know what do you have over there. Okay, it's a number and you can track it better. Then for your coworkers in the future, it's also good to know the data types that you are using it. When the projects are getting bigger, it's not the same that something is called number something, but maybe you are coming on a string. It's good to know the data types that you have it. Another one is for error handling. Why? I can just say, for example, data type equals, um, and if in this case I parse the number, or if I know that after parsing I am arriving with a string, I can say, okay, if this is a string, don't do it. I can do some parsing before in order to avoid that one. And interfacing. Wait, when I say interfacing, have you noticed that sometimes you put something like this and it's saying here any? Okay. If I think here I can not do it. Let me see if I can rename this guy to TS. Oh, okay, let me just leave it here. Maybe I can pass it to TS, and maybe I can pass this one to rename to ES6. Ah, okay. Index TSX, and I will rename it here to ATTSX. Then I have here an element. Okay, this is an object that I am having here. Look, I have it. This is the type any. Here, for example, let's say what this is a React element, if I'm not mistaken.
If you put
It would
just
be
TS,
a, huh?
not TSX, TS. Because
Uh-huh.
when you change to just TS, that logo was changing for TypeScript logo. When you put the TSX, it's again changed to the React logo.
Yeah, but what is this in reality?
If you rename it and put it just TS, it's gonna be TypeScript
Yeah,
logo. You see, it's TS now. Why is not allowing to change it?
or name it, TSX.
I
Uh-huh,
mean, maybe index
no,
has to be changed to TS.
no, okay, name to TX.
Yeah, you see, it's
I
TS.
cannot use, yeah, but I cannot do it.
No, then FGSX rename it to TS. No, FGSX.
But then it will not be a real because TSX,
Okay, makes sense.
and I cannot do it here because there are two different types. TSX is a, uh, oh,
I broke your
okay.
code.
Yeah, it's okay. Yes. Okay. Now it's okay. TSX is TypeScript extended. Okay. Down and in this case is something normal that we have it. Okay. Okay. What do we have? I think. Okay. Then we have here, and this one is getting an any, and this is any. Let's go to inference from usage. Then is arriving to target to name. Then this target is something. This value is something. What you will be an error? For example, here, if I say that this will be a number, in this case, then they say, and this give a number. But this is what I am expecting. But if I say if, for example, here is, we just close it. And we say target dot value type of has to be different than a string. Now, if it's equal to a string, we can just say console return console dollar. I need to add an error. I need to add an error. Okay, this is just an example. This type here it has to be in this case a string, right? Did you have it? We just go in this case over here. Mhm. And here is just saying that for something that refresh it, and we are just here the number 5, and this need to be an error, and we just need to be an error. Okay, don't pay that one thing, but the important is we will have in this case a string that we are having, even though I am saying that this type equal number. And I am basically just telling you, just for your own sake, right? Even though saying here is a number, it's supposed that it's a number, but at the very end, you are getting a value. That is a string. Even though here is saying, and here, look, it is saying that it's a number, but it's getting a string. I think what JavaScript sometimes is a little bit crazy in those aspects. This is a number, this is a type number. The TypeScript is saying that this is a number, but I still have to be sure if that is a number, and everything is arrived. But what you will expecting for a language that was created in less than a month? Everything that is coming here will be a number. It will be a string, sorry, it will be a string. But JavaScript try to make it or try to force to make the operation that you have. Okay. Is something to be aware, and is something that maybe when you are working may show you or may be useful for you to know that it's good to just to do it. Functional component. Okay. Import React. Then you will have it. That is just React functional component that you are creating here. And this suppose. And if you see the errors are arriving here, if I have it, and if I save this this guy. Come. Why is it important to know what do we have it? Because we can avoid error. Another one, because we can error handling. And another part is because, for example, let's say that we have here, and the value that you are having, for example, if I say that that is a number, and I say const value from E will be equal to E dot target dot value, right? What type if I say it here value from E, if I say here, I have a number. If I press dot, look, I have it here, to fix it, to string, to value of, and all the stuff. What happened if I change this to string? Then if I press dot, okay, char and this concat in the old mass normalize, repeat, replace, slice, and everything. Okay, no, you know, this is a boolean. This is a boolean. Okay, then this guy here is showing value of. Okay, I don't have many things that I can add it, right? Or what else I can just say it? Okay, you know what? You are, in this case, something called a symbol. That is another data type. And here, you have description to string to value. You go to here, you can get to a number. Then here, you have another value. This is a very important part that you will use it. Why is important to know the data type? Because the data type, then when you're using TypeScript or when you're using another language, the intelligence will just tell you which function can be applied to this specific element because these properties or this method belongs to that data types. And this is what is really happening in other languages, like that they are typed. When you use the intelligence is telling you what to do. And I think this one is a very good example. Why is good to know what you are passing, right? That helps, I think, in my opinion. That is why this is important. And it's important to know which data type you are using. Because in the future, you can treat every element as it is needed. Any question? I hope I convince you that it's good to know which data types you are having or the transformation that you may need it. Mostly because if you are using TypeScript, they will be very useful. Okay. Let's start in this case with the different data types that we have. The first data type that we have are called numbers. What do we use numbers? Okay, we use the numbers to represent, in this case, integers, and float numbers. Would you mind to give me an integer example? Just two integer example and what floating number?
Let's say 500, let's say 5014, 5.5176. Yeah, let's say.
Now, and what do you think about this
right?
this guy? And what about this one?
Yeah, this one is just short.
Okay. This one is a float number. This one, in this case, is an integer. This one is called like a floating number. And this one we have a 5. And this one is in this case, if I'm not mistaken, it's a scientific expression. I'm not completely sure if you write it with this number, but we'll have it here. Okay, when do we use it? When do we use the number? Mathematical operation, and we knew it, counters, anything that it has to be with finance or anything, arithmetic operation or any kind of information that we have, which is the advantage there. Straightforward, they are very good saving memory, and they support many mathematical operations that we have in this case in JavaScript. Remember that not all the mathematical operation that you may have it, JavaScript will be transformed. If you ask me, Mario, which mathematical operation JavaScript will not support it if we are passing an string? Okay, that is something that we can investigate together. I don't know it from the top of my head. Now, we have something that usually we don't do it, but I think is good to know. Big int. Have you ever heard about this one? Let me just say, let cons big, let me say let big number equals to Let's start it here. Oh. And I added here a very big number. Okay, this is a problem. And let me just say console.log, and I will just say big number. And I will say yes, save this thing, and let's just run. Okay. It's passing it to, in this case, to a mathematical operation because it cannot support it. Let me go here and I will say big int, and I will pass this precious guy here. And we'll just go it over there. And we have a little bit different between one and another one. Just the big int allow me to case, doesn't matter how long is this number. I can save the number over there. When do we use it? There are just very specific cases when you need a precision. When the precision is so important, then you can just use big numbers. It's not something that you use in your every single day life. Okay, this one is because it's not an inter. Okay, because you need in this case a for example, you can convert this type of numbers into some. You can carry another decimal or something, but it's not common to use it. We in my work we tend to use big numbers for the reason that we work with a very big numbers for the small things, and instead of representing numbers, they are representing like a decimal. We just say it, for example, with 10 decimals or something like that, you can have. Just to say it, if you see it here, I think like we are losing some numbers. If you already noticed, there is a limit that we can have it in this case, and there are 53. If you say here, I think I am just arriving to the 13 something something. If you see the 46 is already not coming here, and it's just transforming it to big numbers. The idea is like with the big numbers, you will have a better precision. They allow you to lose less numbers than in this case into numbers. Maybe one day you will need it. There is nothing to know, extra to know. Yes, you will tend to
So
lose it. Yep.
why was different number all there? Was not your
Because no, it will not give you in this case exactly the number. It's just a representation. Even though you have it here, it's just transforming it to the type big number. And this n is making JavaScript know that it's already a big number. I mean, I will just be very honest. You will just adjust when you really need an extremely precision number, or for example, if you are using something calculating the distance between planets or things like that. I just want you to know that they exist. Or for cryptography, I think that they use it, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not that fan of them. But it's good to know that they exist. And they give you more precision than the simple number. Because not all the time you will be maybe using 5 plus 10 divided between something that you have. Maybe in the future, you will need it to use. It's not common. Just to keep it in your mind that they exist. And if you need more precision than a simple number, try to use big integers. They may help you. Then let's go with the next one. And the next one, I think, is very common that we have it. And there are the string. What are the strings? let's say hello equals to hello, my friends. Hello, my friends. And here you will have cons. Oh, just right? Let char equals a. Something very interesting is in the JavaScript. And there are two types of things that the string can represent. It can represent a character or can represent a sequence of characters. The majority of the time, we just say like, okay, a string is a sequence of characters. This is very typical related with JavaScript because it doesn't really exist in other languages. In other language, you just have the type char, but in JavaScript, it's basically a sub-array or is something called a list. I think the instead of being called a string, that has to be called a list. We use it to represent text, name, message, whatever you feel like a represented that is a string. What is the advantage to use? And you can use concatenation, for example, slicing, and you can format in them, right? The strings, they have the ability that you can apply some formatting. You can change it to uppercase, to lowercase, or to anything that you have it. Another thing is in JavaScript, they are manipulating. You can slice one part, you can splice one part, you can do whatever you want to do it over here. And yes, want to use it? Text, basically. Here, all good? Yeah, hope. I am answering myself. Okay. The next one that we have it is the Boolean. Let's just Boolean. What are Booleans? And when do we use it? And which one do you think are the advantages that we have? Now I am. Philip, Sultan, can you help me? What are Booleans? And when do we use it? Or
It's just true, false. You have two
aha,
options. True or false.
true or false? Okay, yeah. And okay, yeah, you can say it. And in the majority of cases, they
You want to
represent.
toggle something? I don't know.
Yeah, you want to toggle something. When you say toggle, in the I would say in the umgangssprach, in the language of working, you will know it like a flags, toggles or whatever. So, but they are basically a flags. You will pass in or not pass in. So, yeah, the majority of the time when I don't use much the word toggle, but more the word flag, passing or not passing. But maybe it's just another word that you may use it instead of. And what else we want to, when do we use these booleans? Toggle here, I would say toggle. When, what is the most common part when we use this logical operator?
Or and
Or in, yeah. Well, in this case, conditions, right? In condition, we use it. If this is true, if this is false, we're using a condition. We just use it, for example, in a state, yes or not, true or false. That is like a on and off. Well, the majority of the time, they are just toggles, as David told us. Okay. Why they are cool? Because they help us in this case to simulate cases, in the case that something is true, to this, to that, and make the code easier to read it. Okay. If you have a condition, you say if this is true, do this. In the contrary, okay, then do that. And the majority of the time you will have it into a into an if, or you can just have it into a switch, right? Switch element, and then you will have your cases, your case, right? You will return depending on the case, state case A, B, C, or whatever. Just this is a personal stuff. I prefer to use if instead of if else. I think like they are looking more beautiful and more neat, but this is just a personal stuff that we have it over there. Those are used for booleans. When we have a boolean, true or false, you have a flag, you have to check if something is it happened, and the state, the majority is true, or is false, is yes or not, on and off. You have it, right? And honestly, they improve the readability that you have in your code when you are using this conditional of something that you are creating. Okay. Then we have the some information that we have, and we have this data type that is called undefined. Okay. What represent undefined, by the way? Before I just say what represent undefined?
False.
Yeah, it represent for okay, on and on. But the majority of the time, what represent undefined? When you say, okay, this is undefined, what
There is
that means?
nothing there.
That there is nothing there. Yes, that is nothing there, but also that represent one extra thing. And it helps you to understand that when you see one undefined part,
It's mean you're doing something wrong.
yes. But that is like a yes. But you are very close for what I want to know. Okay, like something went wrong because it's undefined. Okay, cool. What happened? What happened? When do we usually have this undefined? Because we declare something, maybe we declare it with null or something. But in which case, or what is the most common case when you will get an undefined?
If you pass
Ano-
the value without, for example, if it's the function, and if you pass the, for example, two argument parameter, but if you just have the one argument, which I always face, and then I get undefined always.
Exactly that saying that one variable is that the variable exists, but it doesn't have any value inside. Like that means like no value was assigned to one variable, and that is what it's saying. Like when you see undefined, the error is undefined. Okay, I am not adding to this to one of my variables what I need. You say type of the variables, and then you say, oh, this variable doesn't have value. Then you go in your code and try to see where you didn't assign that value to that specific variables. And that helps, honestly, that helps to debug your stuff. If you say, okay, type of undefined or one variable, okay, you can just know when you have it. It's
Your
usual.
variable is empty, right?
Exactly, your variable is empty. It's just like you created the variable, but you are not giving me anything here. Then I don't have anything. If you are expecting to have something, what an string or anything, but David bring me water and David arrived. What is my water? I arrived, man. Okay, whatever, right? It's just you are not bringing what you are supposed to bring. That helps to value. The majority of times we define the undefined like a cons. Usually you will say, let's say let variable equals to undefined, right? Usually you will just do it like this, and in the middle of your process, here you have some process, some process, some process, And then you will have a conditional. Here you will have a flag or a toggle, and you say if something with this variable, if the variable is empty, then okay, I need some value inside. Then you can see it, right? You are using it in order to in the future calculate, okay, this one does need to have a value. And you can even be more proactive and they say it needs to have a value, and this value needs to be this type. And if you have it undefined at the beginning and at the very end you arrive at on, you say, okay, this has to have a value, it has to be a number. Then you can double check this element and you can avoid some error in your code. I know that this what I am saying sounds very logic, and you will go and work and will not do it, but okay, at least I hope that with experience, when you face this inconvenience, you will know that that is happening. You added a variable, and with the time you will be used to that. Sometimes this double check it or something are needed mostly because you never know, right? Like the most experienced developer will do something stupid from time to time, then we just have it over there. Okay, now let's go with them. Any questions so far? Something like this thing, like make sense while we are talking so far? I am giving you too much information. Is enough the amount of information that I have is
No, it's okay.
okay.
Yeah, we are
Um,
past this problem.
Yeah, I know it. It is very common. It's undefined. And why is undefined? Because you can just start tracking, right? Where this variable was created, where is called, and where is not assigned. And this debugging part. Okay, I know that debugger is very important and everything, but if you know how to read your variables, that is cool. And that is why also TypeScript is so cool, because in TypeScript you could track those problems before, right? That is what we have it over here. Then we have another one that is called null. It's called null. And null, what means null?
False.
It also means false, yeah. That's true. It's a false number. Yes, Sultan?
Empty.
String empty
Actually, okay, empty variable, not empty string, yes, an empty variable. But actually, what
No,
the
empty.
real let's call it the absence
Object,
of
right?
value. Is a yeah, but that is an error.
No,
Because
type it. Type.
uh, and if you say here,
Look like type of it. Object, right?
yeah, but that is another stuff type element. But this is another star. Okay, the run it over there, and you have an object, but it's a primitive. Believe me, what I tell you is an primitive. Uh, okay, we use it when we want something to not to give you some define, right? Like we are expecting that the variable is null. Okay, we know that don't have any type of value, and we use it when we just want to represent the absence of any object or anything that we have. And the only way that I will use null is if we want to empty something to a number, and later, in this case, I want to initially say, for example, element, for example, those data equal that something. Something. Okay. Question. Do we have an error here or we don't have an error here? 10 points here. What is going to know? This is a funds. It's an error, it's not an error.
Yeah, but where did you get the data?
Ah, it's an object, right?
Oh,
I
okay.
just extended the number, right? It's
Mhm.
an error or it's not an error?
I mean, usually I put in a brackets, like is it a bracket?
Oh yeah. It's okay. It's the same. I will do it in the way that you
Then
want.
it's gonna be this is how it, okay. So it's gonna be object.
It will be. Not here. We will have to print something. Okay, let's run it.
After the now. Oh, it's a const. Wait, it's a const. Now I see it. Okay.
But what is funny is, or what I want to show you here is this is saying that it's an object, but it's not an object. It's not an object because actually null, even though because if I make this one, look, if I make it this guy here, that this one is going to work. But if I run it, I still have in here that is an object, right? I mean, like, this is saying it's an object, and this is saying that it's an object, but this one is an error. This one is the type null, just JavaScript is not telling you, and it's just something to. So how can I say it? Just to keep it in mind, right? Maybe one day you will say it and like, well, why is having this one? Then you can just see it, like, okay, I used that variable somewhere with a null, and that is giving me an error that we can say it away. Okay. The other one that we have it, I think it's like the most common that we have it is an object. Right? It's an object.
Everything is object.
Everything is an object. Everything is an object.
And can we say null? It's not immutable, or
Look, the thing is that null is immutable. That is completely true that what you are saying because the null is in this case is a primitive number. And the statement that you are saying is completely true. It's just these objects, then the objects tends to be mutable. It's just an error, is what David said about like, oh, you have this null over here and it's an object, because here is saying it's an object. Then if it's an object, it has to be mutable. But because null is an error inside the system, then we just pass it like an object. Eh, let me see. Question.
None also object.
I'm sorry, David. The
None
one?
also object. Or it's a number.
Yeah.
None is number or an object. I think it's, none is number. I
None
think
is object.
is also an object.
Array also object here.
None is an
Ah, okay.
Array also
I think
object.
none is number.
Not a
Console.
yes, not a
No.
number.
No, it's not a
Yeah, not
number.
a-
But if we type off it like
Yeah, it's a number. Not a number is a number. You are right.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, right? But you are right. Type of that is let cause number.
let.
I was cause let, right? Cause let. Hey, you can see it. I do some. Yeah, it's very weird. That number is a number.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense, honestly. Okay. Okay, now let's go with another that we were saying about object. Object here that we because I think like at this one more or less we know it. What we have it. Would you mind to tell me what is an object? Everything is an object. That is not an answer that I want. Before Maxat?
Yes.
Yeah. Would you mind to define an object in JavaScript?
Sorry, what?
An object. Can you
What?
define it? This data structure or data type object?
Array.
No. An object, because an array is also an object, but in this case, it's like a non-primitive, but object itself, like this guy here.
I don't get it.
What is an object?
Yeah. The definition of object in JavaScript, for example, const, name, and you have here some properties, right?
The one of the fundamental types to store the collections of data or like more complex entities. We have the key value. You want like the explanation of what's object?
Yeah.
It's like the complex data structure that I can store the collections of properties and methods. Is defined as key value pairs, like allowing for flexible and structured data structure. It's like ordered. Sorry. It's not it's unordered. It's unordered. Yes, it's unordered. So it's dynamic. So the properties can be like added, modified, removed, like after the object's created. What else?
And when do we use it? When can use this object?
When we use this object,
Mhm.
when you need object. I don't know. When you want to store the data, like when you want to store the data, like the complex data, when you need the key and the value of the data.
Yeah, when you need it. Can you give me some example there?
Store some data or the collections or like more complex entities, I don't know.
Yeah, more complex entities. Yeah. But can you give me some examples?
The examples, for example, let's say the car. So the car has the make, the model, the year. And for example, if you want to store the data of the car, you can store it in object. Like your key will be like the make, model, year, and your values, let's say like Toyota Camry, like 2024, kind of. The example is all like the person identity, that when you need name, the age, the gender, something like this, and the color.
Yeah.
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 And
That's cool. Can I say something like, for example, cars, and I can collect a lot of cars inside this object. For example, I have one Toyota, one Ford, one something. Do you think
yes.
it will be a good?
So you mean like the object of objects?
Yes.
It's good or not? I would better use like array. Inside of array, I would keep the objects.
Yeah.
But like logically, it's doable. Sometimes we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. No, I am satisfied with in this case. Yeah, it's basically like that. It's a complete data structure, and as Max said, it's basically a more complex entity. I will just tell you something. If it's one unit, one thing, and you need the properties of that stuff, is an object. Just look at like this. Look, a book. A book is in this case something like, okay, a book has pages, has type, has whatever you wanted, properties, right? Mario, like a short, fat, and whatever you are putting it in this case. And just are the different properties that you want to add. The majority of them are things in the real world that we are using. Which are the advantage to use it? The major we can use we don't have a limit in how many in this case properties you can add it. And aside of that, they have a disadvantage that they are not ordered, right? Like wherever, when you have a very big object, it can arrive wherever the name first or the names at the end, and that is what is happening. Yeah, and when you need par value, like they are very well descriptive and they are so good to retrieve data, and they are very beautiful when we are describing information. For example, if I say name and then I say name, okay, maybe I call this a student. Okay, then will be make a little bit more sense. Okay, a student dot name, right? It's a very descriptive part. They are self-descriptive. That is why very good. It's a complex data structure that represent elements in the real world. They are just value and a key and value. The key it will be in this case the property that is describing this. My name is a property. My profession is a property, and all of them can be described into an object. There is not a limit. And now we have the next one. I am just going here. That is array. Davut, help me here with
Yes,
arrays.
array.
Time to shine.
Time to shine.
Uh, array is a data type.
Yes, describe it, when to use it, and maybe you can tell me what some advantage that you can have it to use an array.
We use array if you want to store like multiple like data type. It doesn't matter if like how we call it, primitive data types.
Primitives or another object, yeah.
It doesn't matter, number, string, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Also, I don't know, dynamic, you can add, remove, you can array is better than objects.
Okay, array. Team array, team object, right? Now I have it. When do we use array? When do you use it? Because we already said that the objects, they represent elements in the real world with the characteristic. If I want to represent one thing, they are the best. Like the objects are so cool and they are very clean because of this one. Look, they represent very clean. Can you tell me in this case advantage of using when do we use can you give me 2 examples of when do we use arrays?
For most of the time, we use it for like to store multiple numbers. So without having any property or like I don't know, just store something.
If someone else want to help to put with that part, what we do save in this case into the arrays or examples like that we can have it over there. The numbers, let's say like the numbers is a sequence of numbers, a sequence of number, a sequence of thing that we can represent it. Okay, what else do we can use it? What is the main difference between the object and the arrays? That is what I would like to know. The main thing. There is one main characteristic.
Good for time complexity.
Ordered list.
Yes. They are ordered and the other one order are not ordered. Then when do you think you will prefer one over another one? And taking in consideration that point.
I have a question to you, Mario.
Yes?
when I said that it's not for complexity, you said, but why then? There are many YouTubers and also many, like even the Azamat is always kind of like, oh, we need to have this with an object because it's easy. Let's say if it's an array and if you loop, then you should loop the whole array. But if it's object, then you can just find the property with a key and value. So it would be very, and also time complexity, like the last algorithm in the SATEC, almost everything was like time complexity and stuff, and mostly was within object. Kind of like, let's say you need to find, for example, a duplicate symbols, for example, numbers, for example, you know, and the time complexity always was just to object. So why?
Okay, okay, the main thing that I will tell you different between one and another, right? One is representing one thing, a collection of one thing. The arrays is a representation, a collection of collections. That is the thing. Think about it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that is the thing. The object is representing one thing that has many properties. For example, one person, one land, one land is one country, right? One country, one group, one, but it has many properties, but they are one unity, one computer. One computer can have plenty things and you can access. For example, I will ask you like this. Let's think like my book is just this. Which color is this book?
Red.
Red, right? Then this is the property of the book. In this case, I have it in an object. I can access directly. What is the difference if we were having into an array? Then I will say cons, look, cons, a book. It doesn't make sense. And I will say it red. And this red is the color, right? The color red. And this is possible. I mean, like, or I can have another object, or I can have an object here that say red, like a color red. But it's very difficult to access it when you have an out an array, because the array, first of all, is representing something different. For example, think about that you have 300 students. Every student or every flag, let's say like you have, let me do it like this in order to see the difference between them. We are all from Kyrgyzstan, and I will say cons KY, right? KY, Kyrgyzstan, and the Kyrgyzstan has a color, let's say color red, and then I will have something like a let's imagine that we have like a 100 different property, and I say population would be like a 5 million, okay, something like that. The same information, if I want to print something, I will say kg dot population. Imagine if I were saving this one in an array, and I say cons kg array. Then I know that the color red will be in the first position. Then I will have to have the population. The population will be, in this case, 5,000. It's very difficult to represent this one, right? It's just what you are representing. But now I can ask you something. Imagine in this case that I have another one, and I will just say, for example, cons Germany. Okay, will be okay. I will call it Deutschland, right? Okay, and you will have the same information. What you say? But here it will be 800. Okay. Imagine if I put this one into an object. then I will have to do here countries of the world will be equals to, this is an object, right? Because this is an object, this is entering here. Then you say, Kyrgyzstan is this one. Then I say, comma. Then I enter Deutschland, let's see, Deutschland. And I have it here. Okay. Now I have an object. How you will iterate that? And here is starting the inconvenient. I mean, like a countries of the world. Yeah, makes sense that there isn't an object. But if you instead of using that one, you use, in this case, you pass this one inside. Right now it's easy, right? I want to countries of the world, dot, and I enter DL, right? Okay. How we filter that one? How we iterate that one? How in this case, oh, I don't know. How you will filter that one? Okay, that is a problem. Why?
We're gonna
It stands to, yeah.
Object method, and then you can just as Azamat showed us, like he just used the entries, like the object has a method entries, and then he used this like value and key, and then yeah. He did
I
exactly
know.
like-
I am not saying that that is wrong or which is right. I am just saying that everything has, when the order is important or when something will be iterated or need to be iterated. Imagine if you have to present all the data. You have to go over all, for example, all the flags of the word, or you have to go all over the elements of products that you have it. I just think, and this is personal, that every data or every data type represent for example, if you have a list of things, products, students, or something, then it's better to use an array. Why? Because in an array, the arrays are created specifically, or in this case, for to saving list, sequence, or more dynamic data. For example, if you are going to a process which has to be first, will have to be second, we will have to be third, and then you are processing that data depending how they are entering. An object is good when they represent just one element, or when you really just have, let's say, like a 3-4 elements inside, and they are set in that specific element here. But if you like to use it in one way, that is absolutely, I don't see anything bad, and I will never say, okay, that is correct or that is not incorrect. But in my personal, for example, how you can sort. Imagine in the future you need, okay, you have the data and it's coming disordered. How you will sort it? Oh, okay. The array is bringing you that elements that they are already defined over there. And not all the time you get like a 3-4 type of data and you really know what is coming in your object. Why? Imagine you are buying, then those elements are changing. You are adding more product, you are removing those product, generate like a more real data that you are having over there. That in that case, it's preferable, I am just saying it's preferable to use a list, to use an array, to save that data. And you will have sorting, searching, mapping, and more instruments that they don't really exist into the objects. But don't kill me for that. I just trying to make my point, right? Both are very useful, but I will not say like a one is better than another one. I will say depending what do I need. It's just that one. Good thing about the arrays, you are getting out of the blue, sort, map for each, in this case, something like a reduce. All of those methods that are transformer methods, they don't exist into the object. The objects are very nice when you have something like a, it's not going to change. It's not going to be transformed. It's just like a, okay, I'm tracking, let's say like a counter or something that is representing the unity. But when you are representing a unity of unities, I think in this case, it's better to use an array. Or when you are adding process and they have to be added in the process, who arrived first, how I have to process those elements. That is why we use it for lists, sequences, when the order matters. Like for example, you have the students and I don't know how many students they will have. I have a student, I don't know, the first student, the second student, the third student, and I am adding more information to that data, then the arrays allow you to be more dynamic. You're saying that one. The objects are cool. Yes, I also love them, but we don't have to, how can I say it? We have to be open to use objects and array depending on the situation, not just get married like, okay, I will just use object or I will just use, in this case, arrays. Because I also have this inconvenience with the book. He's always trying to use an array for everything. And there are plus and minus, and we have to learn how to take that decision. Sometimes one is better for one and not another. It's not like there is a silver bullet for every single stuff that you want to do. We have to love them all to all because all have something good. And not all the time you have something that is the same. For example, I can have one object that is different. I can have a number. I can have a Boolean, and all this type of data is cool in this case to have it. If the array were not cool, imagine here React is also using an array to represent some data because the order in this case matter for them to use it. Not against anything, just like that. I'm not sure if that makes sense for you, Aziza. I mean, as I say it, it's just there are two things and they have good things in both, and depending on the case, you can select to use it.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, nothing extra. Okay, we use it for collections too, but of data that can be different type. We represent lists, that is the most when the order matters. Who is first, who is second, who is third. The advantage that they have over the other one is they are very nice for sorting, mapping, or transforming the data. You have one data and you want to transform that data in another data. They are pretty good in this case. Yeah.
For filtering.
Filtering, they are also very cool to do a filtering in this case because you can just go one after another one and just taking what you needed. That's what I say. The majority of time, the arrays is just a list of the element. And think about that an array is like a table. And you are saying, just give me this, give me this, give me this. And then you are taking that information and you are reusing it for something else. That is the beauty of the array, that they, in the majority of time, from APIs, if you notice, the majority of time you are bringing in this case arrays because they are easy to represent collection of the elements. The majority of time you have an array of objects, right? Arrays represent the list of the element and the object represent the information inside that element. But if something is very defined, let's say you have in your screen just 5 elements, please, it's better to use an object in that case. And now we have one beautiful more that is called in this case a function. Believe me or not, a function is also a data type into JavaScript. It make not much sense in this case. What represents a function? When do we use it? And what do you think are the advantages that we have it up there?
Always. You said when we use it, I said always.
Yeah, always that. Yay. Yay.
It's block of code which contains in a in a function, yeah.
Yeah, it's a block of code. I think that is, but what is the advantage of that block of code? There is the key.
Manipulation, if you do want to do some manipulation of, I don't know, data types.
Yeah. But what is the main purpose of the function? When do you think, oh, I think I will write a function for it?
If it's doing something.
If it's doing something, okay. But this is doing something, look. Let number is equal to 1, let number equal to 2, number 2, okay, I guess we call it number 2, and then I say number 3 equals to number plus, I know that I number 2, and okay, A here. This is doing something.
But it's not a block. You say
No, it's a block, look, there are 3 lines.
no,
Block.
it's a global block. It's not a function.
But it's a block.
Block. Yes.
What else?
Actually, it's codes, which one it helps for us. It's not duplicating for us, it's just main advantages, yeah.
Okay, it's not duplicated because we are
Reusable?
exactly. That is the word they wanted.
Hmm.
Reusable code. When we are repeating our code, let's say, okay, I write this one, oh, but I will use it here. You have 2 times this code, and this code can be reusable. It's a representative reusable code in our code that allows us to just to reuse it. The advantage, whenever when do we use it? Whenever we need to reuse the code, or we need to encapsulate it, and we need to use it, for example, here, as you are saying, here, this is also a function. Okay, we are creating a function with one piece of code, and we are right here to the index. Let's say that you have here. Right. It's not recommended what I'm going to do, but you can do that one. It's a function, and I'm calling 3 times the function, and I am making 3 times the thing. And it's not that I am writing this code 3 times, right? You are just using reusable code in this moment. That is happening. This is the main idea what you have over there. Then that is what we have.
Data types.
Okay. Okay. we lost the majority of people when I started to argue about the object and the array. I think.
Object. When we start doing the like a lot of projects like with the React, and I realized that the object is really important. So
Yeah,
is
they
everything
both.
like objects. So.
Yeah, somehow, yeah. The majority of time is they are both important. They are not just one important or another one. Both they have their usage. I mean, also a big truck is as important as a car, just they have different usage in this case.
Mhm.
There is nothing more. You use it depending of what you will transport, right? If you will transport just 3 people, why do you need a lorry? Well, that is the main idea, or that is what I want to say. Nothing extra.
Mhm.
Mm, oh, okay. Then let's, in this case, just pass it. And let's go with the most common usage of element. Let's say that we have an array. The array, we have a, in JavaScript, there are plenty built element that we have into an array. For example, we have push. What do we do with push?
Heading.
Yeah.
Yeah, where do we add it? At the beginning or at the end?
At the end.
At the end of an element, of an array. Okay, now then we have the next one that is pop.
Remove
Remove from where?
and
For n. Okay, cool. And then we have it this one, and that would be, for example, shift.
remove.
No, heading.
Remove
Yeah, remove.
from
Beginning.
Start.
beginning of start. Okay, then what do we have the other one? Shift.
Remove.
Heading.
Adding where?
Beginning.
Beginning. Okay. Mhm. Then we have some that are very interesting. For example, concat.
Concatenate of couple, like if we have multiple arrays, so we can.
Multiple array, we can have it together. Then we have slice.
How to explain? It's also remove, but like multiple. Like if you want to remove like a multiple.
If you want to remove, and what happened with the original array?
What happened? Oh, this is a good question. I don't know. Do we like like how we say it? Mutated or no? Or is it?
Let's say like we have a cons and then we'll go over here like people. Okay, people will have here, I don't know, David. Then we will have in this case.
Because I also always create, if we slice it, I always create the new variable to like to edit there, but I never check that the previous one, what happened with the previous, like which I sliced already.
Okay, but that is important and Sultan. Okay.
If you
I just want, yeah,
if you slice,
endless.
for example, slice 1, right? You will
Ajá,
change the
le-
order then.
okay, let me just say people dot slice. And let's just take it from the element 1 to the element 2, right? So just to have it here. Okay. Let's move console.log new array. Ajá.
This one is
Alright.
interested if you console.log the people.
Exactly. Then we are just taking maxat. Okay. And if I get 3,
No,
I just want you to see something here. Then I have Sultan. Now let me just go to the people. I wanted just to notice something, 2 things here.
It's kind of referencing, right? The
Ye-
referencing should be changed.
Yes. Then here is let's just there is a one difference between a slice and the other one is called splice. And this is very nice to see today to at least to check that one.
Oh, it's not mutated. So,
Not mutated. Why? A slice is taking a part, but it's just creating a copy of that part that you are
Mhm.
taking. Will never alter the main array. That is the difference between a slice and a splice. A
Sorry,
slice, yes,
can you do like this? Can you change, rename that Maxat to the Mario, but using
yeah.
new, no, not here, not here, not here. Don't touch it here. Like const, like new array, const new array.
Ah,
Yes.
position 1.
No, it's position 1 to Mario.
Mhm.
It's actually supposed to be changed my name, right?
Yes,
And
and I see new array. I think it's like what you will because here I have maxat. Look here.
It's gonna be position 0, not the 1. If you
Position
want
0.
no, I want to change. I want to see the console.log people will change to the Mario or not.
no, I got it. It just it's gonna change Sultan, not your. No, it's not anyway.
It didn't change it.
Because I am changing new array here. I'm changing new array.
Oh
Mhm.
wait, you are doing new array 1, but you are slicing. Actually, it's supposed to be 0. Can you do 0 here? Yeah, 0.
Yes, absolutely.
Run it again.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me clean it just to have it here.
Yeah,
So,
it's changing. Mario.
Mhm.
so it's not.
Still is not changing.
Because they are primitives. But they are primitives. In this case, we are having it. I think like let's make it a little bit more complex.
If you
Let's
want to
say
start,
here,
yeah.
yeah, let's make it objects. And in this case, let's make it objects and it will be name, name in this case, well, we haven't David, then, okay, David, then here will be name, and name, it will be in this case, Maxat, and the next one will be name, and name, and will be in this case Sultan. Okay, then we have here in the position 0, here is, but we will change position 0 dot name, right?
Mhm.
And then here I will change it for Mario.
And that console.log people should change, right?
Yes, change it.
Yeah, people, I see Mario on second one.
Why happened that?
Because it's not primitive. It's like the
Exactly.
how to say reference data, or how to say like
Yes, it's a reference. What is happening? It's creating a copy. Before David tell me some, Slice is creating a copy, but this copy is called shallow copy.
We need deep copy in order to avoid that one.
Exactly. Exactly. Because it's just creating a shallow copy. That means like just first level that you are having. When you have primitives, all go good. But when you start having object, because what you are copying is the reference. In this case, every element here, when I create this slice, I create a reference. And then I create a like a hole between one element and the second element.
Is it gonna be same if we have array of arrays?
Oh, okay. Good question. Let me just go here and I'm sorry. Oh, I mean, okay, here
So for
and
it's fine to use shallow copy. Because it's not shallow copy, it's gonna be deep copy like directly, right?
okay. And let me just go here. And instead of name, we just say position 0, right?
Mhm.
Position 0, 0.
Mhm.
Yeah. There and run it.
Mhm.
No, it's not mutated, right?
So that
It
is
is mutated.
Did you? Mario 0, 0, what is it? Ah, because you slice only two. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just change it because what I changed it is new array. The new
Mhm.
array is this one is the new array, and I
Mhm.
modify the first element of this new array for Mario. And if you see, oh, here we have David Maxat, and Maxat is the one that I changed.
Mhm.
Why? Because this one is also a reference. This is also a shallow copy. What I am taking here is the position of this element inside my memory.
Mm. But you say the splice have 3 parameters, right?
You are like cutting
Uh,
and another one.
Uh-huh. No, I
Yeah.
mean, so for example, slice, if you see, have 2 parameters, right?
yeah,
Have
We
3.
can
we can add 3. Mm, nope, we can just add in this case.
No, I mean splice, not slice.
Ah, yes, split. Okay, okay, okay.
You said was
Well,
a
yes,
different, like, is
yeah, and you can have it here. Look, I don't even have to. You
I
have it
think
here.
it's removing and adding, right?
You can, in this case, add the extra. So if you add just 2 parameters, you just add it, and here I can add like an extra parameter, like a tomatoes. And then it will have it here. Extra parameters, tomatoes.
you can
You
even
just,
more item 2, item 3, item 4, item and
yeah.
I guess it's supposed to be separate array.
Oh, okay.
So
So
what
basically you can add everything like any number what you want.
Object. Oh,
but you're saying that splice is like give us not reference but the original one, right?
yeah, basically it's giving us the original one. That is
Yeah,
So
happening.
basically.
No,
gonna
quick, don't, okay, no, what I meant is it modify the original array. You mutate the original array. When I am taking some information, for example, from the original, if you see it, here I have David, but I lost Maxat.
Mm,
I lost Maxat. Then Maxat doesn't exist anymore in that array. That is the main difference between slice and splice. Slice, in this case, when you slice it, the original stay the original. If
So lost the Sultan, by the way.
I wasn't, okay, sorry.
Since you are like putting number 3, the number 3 is like how many indexes you want to delete, right? Start like 1 is like started from Maksat, and then 3, if you have, for example, like Maksat, Sultan, and Mairo, it's gonna delete all of us.
Exactly. It will take it in this case, these two. If I get just one, if
one?
I take, for example, 2, they will just go from the 1 till here. If I say till 3, then they will arrive till the next one.
Splice. I'm talking about the splice.
Oh yeah, what happened? I'm sorry, I got confused.
Never mind, I guess. That was my mistake.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, the main difference that we have to know is between slice and splice. In this case, it's like you modify the original array. What is happening inside is just how JavaScript works. If you can modify or if you have a primitive, in this case, nothing happened, get just a copy. If you have an object, get reference in this case, and you are just copying that reference. Why? Because we are creating one shallow copy, that is copy of the element.
Okay.
Just to be secure over there. Now, let's go with another one that is called map. Map, in this case, what it does is create a new array, right? That is the main difference that we have it when we have an array, and this, we just say it, const new array equal, in this case, people dot map, and you get the element, and then you return the element, for example. Then you are creating a map. What is happening? The original stay the same, but you will have an array of the same length all the time. We use it most of the time when we need to reform data inside an element. For example, here we have this array of people, they are inside an array, and I can just do something like this. Return me and name with the element in the position 0, right? And then if I just see it, new arrays, if you, okay. I forgot here one extra. If we just go over there, then we'll just have it. We have this array of arrays, and I transform it into an array of objects. You can do that. You have one type of data, that data you can transform it in another type of data, or create operation or doing something, but you will always have the same size of element that you have it in that case. When we need it, when we need to transform the elements and applying some calculation or reformatting the data or doing whatever, but you will have the same amount of the element. It is mostly when we need a map. In React, you also use it when you want just to iterate data and print and list. Yes. Yep. Then we have another one that is okay. Filter. Again, filter create a new array all the time. Doesn't modify anything, but can be bigger, can be the same size or smaller. When you are looking for information, create a substring Or when you want to, imagine that you have a big array and you want from this array creating something that is get me only from this category. Then you can, in this case, get that sub array. For
Also
example,
removing something from array.
exactly when we want to remove spas from the array. Another thing is filter also doesn't modify the original, just to keep it in this case. Like you never modify anything into the original array. Okay, now we have for each. What is what for each does, and
Dangerous.
it's dangerous.
Yes. Whereas my
Why?
mod everything like you're just using only for original, right? He's not creating the new array. So I mean you can you by the way?
Create a new
Yes,
array.
Kimba is mutated the original, yes.
Oh, yeah, that is true. We can say it. Okay. The only thing that we can say for each executed the array, go element by element, and doesn't return anything there back. When do we use it? When you need to create, mostly when you need side effects. You know, one side effect, when it's not a common, is when you are affecting something outside of, for example, of your arrays. Let's say it in this case, you want just to operate. It will sound very, let's say it, you just want to print out information. You just want to say, okay, let's say you have a new array. You have a new array, and this is a side effect. Dot for each element, and we just say console the log element dot name. This is a side effect. Everything that you are printing here is considered a side effect. I just needed to print it. I just need to create some operation that I will use it in another place. And we don't need it. For example, you can have like one stay here, like a let sum equals 0. And you can just, let me, instead of adding this one, I will add numbers. Yeah, sorry for 3 and 8. And here we can say it. Sum plus equal el dot name and say console dot log sum. Someone will tell me, Mario, I can use reduce for that. Yeah, but it's just an example, okay? It was my, because I modified this guy here, right? Yeah, and then here we have it 12. Okay, 1 plus 3 from 8. 9. Okay, it's just, I don't need the array. I just need the data that is inside, and maybe I will modify something outside. Could be an state, could be something. For each is a very good thing to use it. I don't need to do anything with the data. Maybe I just need one element from the data. It's just an example, right? And we have find. We have find in this case. What that is find something, and if we get true, then return that element, right? But what happens when we have a repeated numbers into find? Let's say like we have an array. Let's say like we have an array. 2 equal 5, 5.
So you say
8,
only the unique ones?
No. Let's say like what happened if I say array, let's say console.log find array2 dot find, and this one is also a callback array element, and I say element is equal to is bigger than 4. What is going to print me?
8 and 5.
I am just showing you one very wrong way to use it. What do you think it will give me? Maxat, Sultan?
All numbers. I think. Only 5.
It just gave me the first element, that's fine. Find this one. Okay, here you it's like bring me a ball. Okay, you are not saying bring me all the balls, you are saying bring me the ball, like a find. And in this case, it gives me just the first element that I am having it.
Mhm.
It's good when you just have a unique element, but when you have multiples, what you will use?
Every. Oh,
Every give you a boolean if every element fulfill one
Just
condition. It
filter.
will give, okay, I filter, yes, absolutely. It will give you filter in this case. It will be filtered the best. Uh-huh.
Is yours
Okay.
stuck?
Huh?
Are you doing something? Your screen is stuck for me.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was writing here. I like that. If we need to find more than one element, we use filter. Then that is what we needed. We just need filter and escape. Find give you the first element. Okay, find Mario, find someone, find some. The majority of time, find will be working pretty well with IDs.
Mm.
Is perfect for IDs. Like you have a lot of elements, and that find element dot ID is equal to this ID. In that case, find works pretty well because it will give you the first element that is find. Okay, that is why you need to find something that is unique. Now, just to keep it in mind, then we have another one that is find index. What do you think is going to give me if I do it here, for example, find index?
Position of element.
Which element?
Well, 5, so it's gonna be 0.
Exactly. It's going to be 0 and 0. And even though say element behind the name, that is not good when we have a repeated element because find index will just give you the first element that we have it with. Yeah. How we can find the last element in this case of the array?
Last element.
Yeah, I need to know the last index of that array. For example, I want to get this 5, not I want to get this element, not this one.
So you can just map it, I guess, or element that length -1 or another element. Wait. Oh my God. Then you don't need the everything. You just cancel log array that length -1 or what something.
Here, look.
Off -1.
Last index of the element bigger than 4.
What does it mean -1?
That could be interesting. I really don't know why it is giving me element array 2. Yeah, array 2. Fine. Okay, console log. Find index. Last index of. Because last index of is just doing something different. I'm sorry, don't pay attention to this one. It was completely my mistake. I was thinking that I was having just an array, but remember that here I have find index. Let's leave it like that. Okay, let me just, because we have some time, I prepared some 3 small exercise that I want you to help me with them. They are not that complex, but I will just love if you help me with this. Okay. Okay. Let's say that we have this array, and you can just tell me here. Cons edges, and you have this array. This array represents the ages, the age, like how old are you, right? The age of different people. In the United States, you know that we have election not long ago, and I would like to know who can vote. And then we need a function that is called who can vote. This function get a rate of people. How can I get, in this case, the subarray using this function? Let's say it, for example, in this case, who can vote, and I will pass an array of ages. And I need, in this case, here, console.log, all the people who can vote.
Okay.
Which function or what we can use it in that case?
I would use filter.
Filter, yes, exactly. Filter is in this case the best solution that we have.
Ages that filter.
People that
People.
Okay. Return, yeah, people. Yeah, people. Because yes, dot filter.
What is it?
And then
You don't have people, you have ages only.
here, I rename it here.
Okay. People.
Then, yeah, and then we say like a person. And in this case, we just say person bigger or equal than 18, right?
21 or 18?
Okay, I'm sorry, 21.
I don't know
Okay.
who can vote. I'm not sure. Is 18 or 21? In no,
Very interesting.
I don't know. It's more than 18 or
18, I guess, yes, 18.
I think it's 18 if I'm not.
I know you can drink more like at 18.
17 years old, they say.
But usually it's 18.
Yes, you're usually 18. Who will be 18 by the election day? You have to be 18. No, for example, you have to register. The election will be in September, for example, something, and you register maybe 2 months ago.
18.
Then we run it, and here we have 25, 30, and 31. That is a very information. Okay, let's make it more realistic. Let's make it more realistic. I have this array. I will give you this array. Oh, this will be, I am sending you into the chat. It's the same that I am passing here right now. It's the same array that we have here. And let's call it people. Oh, and we call it people. And here we have. And here, call
Person.h.
thank you. Yeah. But this is more like a person dot h that we have here. Oh, what that's giving me something very interesting. I want to see. Oh, okay. I used to have another array for that. Yep. Then this we have it. Here we have. Now, okay, this will give me people who can vote, and it's saying Alice and Charlie because they are two persons that I have this. Would you mind if instead of doing this one, let's group them? Let's group. Let's group them. Let's group them in age groups. I want to get something like this. For example, one object and say 25 will array Alice in, for example, Charlie.
Okay, by age, I got you.
And the other one will be, for example, 17, and it will be the other two guys, right? This can be a bigger. What I want to represent it is something like imagine if they were not people, it were products, right? And I want to get all the products and put it into categories. And I want to group it depending on the category that they belong. Would you like to try to give it this one a try? I will give you here the code completely. The idea is that at the very end, you have something like this. And here we'll say it, David, and here we will say it Bob, for example. This is what I want. Just in case you are saying, Mario, that is very stupid. Actually not. It's very common that you have a big array and like let's order it by grade, like a who got 10, who got 5 or something. Let's group it by country, and you can start grouping information. This is a real how can I say it? A useful exercise that we can have it.
I guess it's easy.
Okay, guys, it's easy. Okay, let's do it and let's show it to me. And I think like with that one, we can just. Or if you want, I can give you my screen. In this case, if you do it.
People, we have person. You should reduce.
Reduce is a very good option. I think it's the best option.
So people that reduce. You have the accumulator and then person.
People dot reduce. Then I have the accumulator and the person, right?
Person. Why it's axis. Okay, let's see. So if how can we do it? The same what we did before, you know, Let's do that initial value gonna be the empty object. So
Exactly.
yes, since you wanted the empty object, right?
Exactly.
It's empty object, and then
Okay, try to solve it over there and send it to me. Okay, because maybe the others also want to try. I will give you exactly the code that you gave me. But reduce, I think, is the best option.
It's always logging out with my Replit. I don't know why.
Logging out?
Yeah, always logging out.
I am getting lag, right? Maybe I can remove my camera. Maybe that will be better.
Oh.
Or you can share your screen if you want, or you can just code it and share the code with me. I am fine with any option.
Person H. I really forget how to solve this kind of problems.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember too, but I remember we've been solving something with that.
So we want the object with we want actual object. Then gonna be accumulator person H. So accumulator is our object, right? Oh, if accumulator that person H.
That makes sense. If accumulate is okay, I wrote access here. I'm sorry, but just accumulator. Okay, that is one something over there. This accumulator
Person H, then
personage.
push it that person name inside.
Exactly. Yeah. Then we
Like
take everything.
we accumulated person H, push person name.
Yeah, with person name.
If not,
Person dot name. Okay. If not,
we need to
else
create that one, that empty array.
empty array or the array has to have something.
Yeah, like this.
Are you
Right?
sure?
Maybe
we add this guy. Maybe we add also the person name, right?
no. Or yes. So let's imagine we have that accumulated person H, then we will add it. If we don't have it, that H, then we need to create that one.
Yeah, but
Oh, you want like immediately create it and put it inside something. Yeah, it makes sense.
let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. What we are missing right now.
Gonna work. Yes, you need to put the person name as well.
All right. Because if not, we lose that one moment.
If not, it will just create that new empty array and just skip it that name and go next for the next object.
Element. Yeah.
If not, Just empty array.
If it will be empty array, then for example, Alice, we don't have that Alice 25. He will create that empty array and go for the Bob. But the Alice will not put the Alice will just, how to say, we will not include it.
Skip it.
Keep it,
Mm.
yes.
Aha. Okay. That
That's
is
it.
all?
Error.
Return accumulator. With
Oh,
the
you return, yes.
Uh,
That ACC, I guess.
aha. There you go. Okay.
Return ACC.
and,
And why?
Because I have to return here, guys. I have to return this guy.
Which- Mm,
Yes, there is Bob Davis, Alex Shirley. This one, honestly, being honest, this structure, I would suggest to you to more or less to memorize. At least this one. This is useful on to create solve to create this object from the array, making this grouping information. It's very useful and it's something that is really, you really do it quite often to group data between that information. That is something very common. Okay. Now, let me just give you another one. If you don't mind, I will. We have this array that is called that is called in this case products. And we will get something that is called a function that it will give you like this. This function has to do two things. A function that give you the names of the products that are in stock, that they are in stock, and the price is more than 500. Okay. They are in stock and they are more than $500. Let's say that they are dollars. So what we have here?
And both of them, right?
Yes, both of them. They have to be in stock, and the price has to be more than more than 500. That means
Right.
like if you see it here,
yeah,
there
you
will
can do it
be
by one line. You can do it by one line of code.
It's fine. I don't have problem if you do it in one line of code.
I
Please.
mean, if a stock return that price more than 500.
No, I guess the Mara wants to return the whole object.
Or just return me like this. Return in this case array and say the name of the product. Laptop. For example, is the only one that is true and is more than this. And you return me this.
Yes, actually,
Yes.
some one's true.
Yeah. It has to be in stock. It has to be in the stock. And I just want the name.
Yeah, it's easy.
You can do filter again.
Filter, that
And
makes
just-
sense.
Yes, and you just return product that name at the end. Products filter. Yes.
You have to create maybe the new array at the end. You just
Okay.
that name.
Okay. Okay.
Gonna be product, and then you need that.
Can
No, I mean, like,
Let me.
can we create a
let-
function?
Can I do something else like a iPhone? And this one will be also 650. And then I want this one to also have like an iPhone here. Because remember that I can have a lot of products. It's not that I will have one. This is products. If you have a big shop or a lot of products, maybe you will have not just one, you will have hundreds of products. Then I want all the names of those products that they are in stock and more than 500.
If in stock and price is higher than 500, then you can like push it even
To the new array.
to the new array that name just inside
Okay, that makes sense. I will just make create here, right?
Mm.
But do you think that a filter is the best option?
Or you can map it by the
you can
But do you think like a map is the best option?
for each.
Why for each and not map and not
I
filter?
guess you wanna slice it, right?
We are not mutated, we're not changing it, we're just pushing in the new array, so you can just use for each.
And that is a side effect. That is one
Side-
solution. That is one solution. That is one solution. But Maxat, you were saying something else?
I don't wanna say anything.
Okay. And I will tell, this is one, I will not create a function. I will just say it in this case, product dot for each. And
product.
this makes sense. All products, okay, product. Is how you are saying is absolutely products. Okay, and also products filtered. Okay, and then you have products, and you are having here. Then I can ask the two questions. If product dot is in stock
And
and
product that price
product,
higher or equal
yeah,
to 100. Yes.
exactly. Then in this case, I can just say product filtered dot push,
Mhm.
and I say just product
Name
dot name.
and return that product.
No, you don't have
You
to.
don't need to like return anything.
You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
need to return anything. You just say console because right now we are using a side effect. Dot product filter. We can put this into the function if we need it. That is not an inconvenient. And here we have it. This is
That-
absolutely true.
Next assignment. Kidding.
I can give you one, but this one will be by home. It will be just, I will just explain it to you here. We have this array of user. I want to create two types of function. What I want you to create a function that find an element by ID. For example, if I pass let's say like I have a function find by ID, and this function I pass an array and one ID, right? I want to return, for example, if I pass here this array and here is the ID too, I want to get this element. Like for example, my response will be that information. And I want another one that remove one element based on the ID. For example, if I pass the ID, let's say that I pass the ID too, I want, for example, to get something like this. If I pass the ID, stop. Okay, if I pass the number 1, it will return me an object with these 3 elements. And if I find an element, and for example, I pass the first element, I want this one to return me the first element. There are two different. In this one, I want to get that element just to show it. And for example, if I pass in the other one, that it will be remove element by ID. The other function will be function remove element by ID. And you will pass an array and an ID. You will have here, for example, if I pass, for example, I pass ID 1, I will get an object with this information. If I pass, in this case, the ID 1, I will get this information. That would be in this case. Yes. I would suggest you just to try to do it at home if you have some time. I'm sorry for not giving you break, but I think I really wanted already at least to write to this moment.
I mean, you just show us at least we can see that we have some progress from the beginning, because I remember in the beginning of JavaScript or something like that, Acela been give us some like a kind of same like tasks, and we've been sitting 2 hours and couldn't solve it. If you remember, Maxel.
Maybe.
Yeah, but right now, like we can see it, and right away we like have some solution. So it's
Mind is working right.
mhm.
And this is something that you will do it. Maybe the exercise I reduce it, but it's normal thing like that. You have an array, get some information that you need for that array, modify the information that you have it, or transform it. Those are the normal thing that you have to do it. Okay. Then I
Good.
think if we I already sent you the exercise in the in this case into the chat, but I will also pass it into the Slack channel. We will continue next week. By the way, I think I will be instead of Asamat, if I'm not mistaken, next Wednesday with React. I don't even know what you are going so far, but I will review what you have been doing, and I will be, because he will not be here next Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. And for the next Friday, we will continue. I think we will just continue repeating what we have it. I hope that for today, at least, we know why it's important to know the data types. It's very important because if we know our data types, if we know what they can do with that information, we can take decision in what to use. There are no bad data type or good data type. They are just data types, and they are used in a different situation. Okay? Don't just, oh, I love arrays, or no, I love objects. They are just tools and use it when you need it. That is how I see it. But you are free to do it in other way. Do we have questions today that we?
No, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Then see you next time, and try to do this small exercise. If you have questions, please post it into the channel or text me. If I can do it, I will try to not ignore.
Thank you so much, Mario.
You're
Okay,
welcome. Then,
bye.
Yeah.
bye
Thank you.
bye. Bye bye.